Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the bold and the beautiful edition. Y'all, today on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this a 9. I keep giving it a 9 because of what's going on with Brooke and Hope. That's the only reason, because as far as Sheila's acting and everything going on in that household, they are doing it. Okay, so let's get right into it. So Brooke and Hope are over there rehashing what we've been hearing for the past few weeks, months. Just Brooke wondering, oh my gosh, why did I drink? And why would I? It's what happened after the drinking is the reason Ridge is upset with me. And Hope just reassuring her that, go ahead, mom, Rich doesn't think you want Deacon. No, that part tickled me. He does not think you want to back with Dad. He would have he cannot possibly think that. But just Hope trying to reassure Brooke that Ridge will come home to her and everything. Um. Anyways, so let's move on from that because that's all that's going on over there. So then we see that okay, so at Steffi's household, Sheila knows she's been caught, right? And Sheila, hold on because Sheila was saying some crazy stuff, and I had it was so wild that I had to write this stuff down. Sheila says we start off with Sheila saying, I'm not going back to prison because of an accident. She really in her mind was like, I'm not going back to prison. Like, it was an accident. No one would send a grieving mother like, really, you're grieving because of yourself. So I'm not gonna play with you, Sheila. You know you my girl, but I'm not gonna play with you. You are grieving because you caused your own grief. You shot your son and you killed him. And she said no one would convict a grieving mother. And so then they go in on her. Ridge, Steffi, and Taylor go in on her like, girl, you're crazy. What are you talking about? You're not a grieving mother. You came around us at the hospital not because you cared about Steffi, but because you wanted to know what was going on. You wanted to know that Steffi wasn't going to wake up, and then you wanted to know what information she knew. So don't sit up here and act like you're just this grieving woman and you feel so when we should feel so bad for you or whatever. Sheila, you my girl, but you wrong for this one, girl. Um. So then Sheila says, she turns to Taylor and she said, you're cruel. You lied to me about why I was coming over here. How could you do that? And Taylor said, Sheila, I know you don't think I'm going to feel guilty or I'm going to take your side, because Sheila was pretty much like, Taylor, defend me. And Taylor said, I'm not going to take your side over my daughter. You did this. You admitted you did this. You stood over, like, it was bad enough you killed Finn. Okay, if that had been an accident, that was gonna be wrong because you was trying to kill Taylor. But if you had called the police or whatever, it wouldn't have been so, I mean, it was bad, but it wouldn't have been so bad. But the fact that you killed Finn and then you stood over Steffi and then turned around and pulled the trigger, like, girl, Taylor is not going to be on your side. And Taylor pretty much told her that we are not friends. She said, I forgave you after what you did for me. But this time you went too far. Like, this friendship wasn't even built on trust. It was built on you lying to me, making me think you were a changed woman, and I should have known better or whatever. Um, so then really should start going off on Sheila, talking about you're gonna die in jail, and that makes me feel good. He said, you're an awful person. You don't deserve to live. He was just spewing stuff at her, which I can't stand Ridge, but I was like, okay, I get why he's saying this. He says, so then Sheila tries to tell Steffi, you're just as guilty as me because I didn't come after you. You came after me. You cornered me in that alley and was telling me I was never going to see my grandson and my son again. I tried to leave and you backed me into a corner. So you take some of the blame on this. I said, Sheila, we talked about this Friday. This is not the way to go. And so then Ridge went to going off on Sheila again, talking about you're an animal. You're going to die in prison. I'm happy you're going to die in prison. It gives me pleasure. And he got so worked up. Ridge was going to go over there and do some things. And Taylor said, no, she's not worth it. I said, now, Ridge, I understand she was upset, and I understand she shot your daughter and stuff. Call the police. Don't be putting your hands on her now. Just call the police and tell them to escort her out. Because some people would be like, well, I don't fault him, but I would. So don't be putting your hands on her. Just call the police and tell them, come get this woman from this home. And plus, I was like, why are y'all letting her keep going on like this? Like, because you could clearly see Sheila is delusional. That's my girl, but she's delusional on this. She really thinks she did absolutely nothing wrong. She feels like because it was an accident, there's that she did because she says it was an accident. And it was. She didn't mean to shoot Finn, but you were trying to shoot Steffi. You did something wrong. Um, so then Sheila said, Steffi, I want you to think. What would Finn do? I said, no, ma'am, Sheila. You're not finna play this card. And she said he would have compassion, something that you lack. He would have compassion for me because he loved me and all that. And Stephanie was like, well, we don't know what Finn would do because you killed him. You're like, what are you doing? I was like, Sheila. And Sheila was like, she was looking at that door. She was like, I'm not going to prison. I said, Sheila, I don't think you're going to be able to get out this door. But she says, so then Taylor says, Sheila, because she tried to again go to Taylor and get Taylor to come on her side. And Taylor says, Sheila, we are not friends. I'm not siding with you over my daughter. I'm not siding with you, period. I shouldn't have never brought you back in. And then Ridge says, you're going to die in prison. He tells her this again. I hate you. I mean, I really hate you. I hate you for what you've done to my daughter. And then Steffi started crying and stuff. And she says, Steffi told her, I saw through your lies. I saw through your lies. I knew you weren't a changed woman, but Finn believed you and he wanted to be on your side and everything. She said, but I knew better and I knew that you shouldn't have been around us. And now look what happened. So Sheila says, I'm going to tell you one thing. It tickled me, y'all, because Sheila was like, I ain't going to no prison. So she tried to leave out the front. She was trying to leave out the front door. The police was there. She said, I'm going to go out this back way. And the police was there. And Baker come out the back. He said, I got everything I need or whatever. I said, Sheila, it would have been your word against Steffi's. I would have rolled that out to the end. And so they got Sheila. And she says, I'm not going to prison. I'm not going to prison, but they taking her away or whatever. And she said, wait, I have something to say. Let me say my piece. And Ridge and Stephanie are like, you'll never be in peace. But Stephanie was like, but go ahead and say what you got to say. And Sheila says, um, y'all take love for granted. What she said, she was like, I've never had love. I've never had somebody just love me unconditionally and I love them. We just love each other. She said, y'all take love for granted and y'all don't appreciate it when it's given. She said, I guess what she was trying to say was her love for Finn was real because it was her son and she just loved him and she felt like he could have loved her back and everything. And so she says, I loved Finn. She says, I love Finn, and y'all don't even understand that because y'all just are so used to someone just loving you that you don't understand what it's like to have nobody in the world love you. I did feel kind of sorry for Sheila because that's my girl, but I was like, girl, that this going one ear and out the other with these people, like save it for the courts. And but then Steffi said, I don't care what y'all say. Steffi is so dramatic. Steffi was like, let me get it right. You destroyed my family, but you didn't destroy me. And I'm going to come back stronger and better than ever. And I'm going to raise Hayes. And he will never, never know about you, Sheila. Ever. You won't even be on the radar. Like, she's not going to even tell him about Sheila or whatever. And then Sheila says, I'm going to erase you. You're not loved. You're forgotten. And I said, whoa, that's harsh. But I mean, Sheila, you deserve it. You my girl, but you deserve that. And so then Sheila tells Steffi, oh, I'm not, I'll be back. You think you got rid of me? Y'all think y'all got rid of me? Oh, please. I'll be back, and I'm coming back from Hayes, and he's going to love me. I'm coming for Hayes. He's going to love me. And they said, get her out of here. Get her out of here. And so she goes ahead and they get Sheila out of there. And then so Steffi Ridge and Taylor Talk are talking, and they just was like, I can't believe she did this and everything. And Taylor says she's just a sick person. And so then they tell Ridge, Taylor tells Ridge, you need to go tell Brooke what she's done. He said, I'm not going to leave y'all here. And she says, no, Brooke needs to know what Sheila did to her. He said, she's been questioning why. She's like, the reason why she drank. And they say, well, now we know it was Sheila. And Taylor tells him go, and he didn't want to go, but she tells him, no, you need to go. So he leaves, and then Taylor and Steffi are talking again about Sheila, and and then Steffi tells Taylor, I'm worried about what this gonna do to you and Dad. And Thomas was too. That's why he kept it secret. But anyways, so then, and I will say this. The way Steffi and both Taylor told him, you need to go tell Brooke, like you need to go do this and all that kind of stuff. Like they both know that this could set Ridge up to go back to Taylor, but they were not like Hope and Brooke all in the hospital. You need to tell her the truth so she can get her memory. Now, I'm glad Steffi has a memory back, but they weren't so pathetic and almost desperate like the way Hope and Brooke were in that hospital when they just, oh my gosh, Liam, oh my gosh, she thinks he's her husband, oh my god, and then Brooke begging Ridge to come home when it's like he had came home, Steffi might not have remembered because Taylor might have let Hayes see Sheila by herself. But anyways, moving on from that. So then we see that Taylor Bridge goes over to Brooke or whatever, and she was going up the stairs, and he comes in, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, what you're here? What are you doing here? Is everything okay?" And he tells her, "Oh my gosh, so much has happened or whatever." And then he tells her about Steffi has her memory back, and she says, "Oh, maybe they can find out who killed her." And he says, "We know who she is," and she was like, "She?" He said, "It was Sheila," and she said, "My gosh, Sheila shot her son, and then um." and shot Steffi. Oh my gosh. And so he said they were talking, and he says, she can't do anything. She's going to prison for the rest of her life. She won't be able to hurt you, Taylor, and Steffi and her family. And she was like, well, she not even done to me anything to me in years. He said, no, she changed the drink labels and on you, so you were thinking drinking champagne. And she said, I knew it. I knew it was alcohol. I didn't just drink alcohol. It had something to do with it. And then so they hug or whatever, and in my opinion, Ridge was looking like, whoo, but Brooke was looking like, I'm gonna ask this man to come. And that was the Bold and the Beautiful, y'all. I know this was a long video. That was the Bold and the beautiful guys. I will see you tomorrow with a new episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to. Even if you don't, it's okay. I'll still be giving these videos out. But hit that like button for me. Hit that for me. Bye.